the boy in the over on then pebble. The way goes on tipway, Hulu, Agogo, meaning goes on a mata.
So, good day everyone. Thank you for joining us today. In today's lecture, we'll be exploring the fascinating world of aquatic plants and how their morphology has evolved to adapt life in water. We'll dive into their root structures, buoyancy mechanisms, leaf adaptations, and more. So, let's get started. So, aquatic plants o kunang tinatawag natin nga hydrophytes exhibits a variety of fascinating adaptations that allows them to thrive in water. One of the key adaptations is their root structures. For example, in plants like Elodea canadensis or Canadian waterweed, the roots are greatly reduced and serve more as stabilizers rather than nutrients absorbers. This allows the plant to remain anchored in the water without needing extensive roots for nutrient uptake. However, plants like Vallisneria americana or water celery have more robust root system that provide stronger anchorage in the substrate. These adaptations ensure that the plants can maintain their position even in areas with strong water currents. So, to dive deeper into anchoring mechanism, let's hear from John Lloyd.
Thanks, Robin. Now, let's talk about the different ways aquatic plants anchor themselves in water. One key structure is the rhizomes. Rhizomes spread horizontally and help plants like Paragmites australis, or also known as common reed, stabilize themselves over large areas. This spreading mechanism not only helps with anchorage, but also supports the plant's growth in unstable condition. In some plants like Sagittaria, or also known as arrowheads, the roots can penetrate deeply into the substrate, ensuring stability even in fluctuating water levels. This is critical for preventing uprooting due to wave action or currents. Now that we covered anchoring, let's talk about how these plants ensure they get enough light. John Kenneth will explain leaf adaptation for buoyancy and light capture.
Thanks, John Lloyd. Now let's talk about leaf adaptation for buoyancy and light capture. Aquatic plants have evolved some truly unique leaf structures to help them float, capture sunlight, and thrive in underwater environments. For example, the broad, waxy leaves of Nampia, or we also known as water lily, floats on the water surface, aided by air-filled tissues that provide buoyancies. This allowed them to maximize sunlight exposure while also offering a habitat for small aquatic organisms. Meanwhile, submerged plants like Myriopellium or water myrtle have divided feathery leaves that increase surface area for better light absorption. This adaptation helps them capture as much light as possible, even in the deeper waters while light penetration is limited. Next, let's hear from Robin, who will discuss the support structures and how stem modification play a role in helping aquatic plants stay flexible and strong.
Thank you. Now, aquatic plants must be able to withstand the forces of water currents, and one of the key ways they do this is through stem modifications. Many aquatic plants have flexible, lightweight stems that bend with the current, reducing the risk of breakage. For instance, Zostera marina or eelgrass has ribbon-like stems that can sway with the water's movement, allowing it to stay anchored while avoiding damage. Some species like Hydrilla verticillata have hollow stems or air-filled channels that provide buoyancy and reduce their overall weight. This helps them float and stay upright in the water while being anchored to the substrate below. Now, let's take a look at more specific examples of how aquatic plants adapt to their environment. Godofredo will share some additional research on different plant types.
Thanks, Ruben. Let's look at the same examples of aquatic plants and their specialized adaptations. First, we have floating plants like Salbania and Ecornia, Chryseps or cold water hyacinth. These plants have air-filled vesicles in their tissues, which help them stay afloat. The thick, waxy leaves of these plants prevent water absorption and decay, making them ideal for floating on the water surface. Next, Emma will talk about emergent plants, which grow in shallow waters but have unique adaptations that allow them to thrive even above the water surface.
Thanks, Godofredo. Now let's talk about emergent plants like Typha or cattail and Schinoplectus or bulrush. These plants grow in shallow waters with stems that rise above the water surface. Their leaves are adapted to capture sunlight, and their root systems anchor them securely in the substrate. These plants are crucial in wetland environments and help in stabilizing the ecosystem. On the other hand, submerged plants such as Kabomba and Potamogeton or pondweed have finely dissected leaves, increasing their surface area to capture as much light as possible in deeper waters. These plants are essential for maintaining oxygen levels and supporting aquatic life in submerged environments. To finish off, Nichelle will talk about how some aquatic plants have adapted to survive in challenging environments like saline waters.
Thanks, MR. Some aquatic plants, like Salicornia or glasswort, have specialized cells that allow them to thrive in saline environments, such as salt marshes. These plants are equipped with mechanisms to manage osmotic stress, enabling them to survive in water with high salt content. This adaptation is crucial for survival in coastal regions or areas with fluctuating salinity levels.
To wrap things up, the morphology of aquatic plants is a remarkable example of evolutionary adaptation, from their specialized root structures that helps them anchor in water to their buoyant leaves and flexible stems. These plants have developed unique strategies to thrive in diverse aquatic environments. Their adaptation not only enable their survival, but also support the health and biodiversity of aquatic ecosystem. Thank you for your attention, and we hope you learned something new today about the incredible world of aquatic plants.